Okay, if you're in training or HR, think about this for a second. How much of your week is just gone, eaten up by administrative tasks? Now, what if you could get all of that time back? Today, we're going to break down a really simple, but honestly, a game-changing framework for talking to AI that can completely transform how you and your team get work done.
And this is the big promise, right? This isn't about buying some new fancy tool. It's about using the tools you already have, just smarter. Getting this right means you're not just saving a few minutes here and there. We're talking about reclaiming a huge chunk of your week every single week.
You know, the funny thing is that lost time, it's usually hiding right in front of us. It's buried in all those repetitive but essential tasks, the ones that are absolutely crucial for getting new folks up to speed, but are also just a total drag to create from scratch every time.
I'm talking about things like writing onboarding guides, drafting yet another email for a training session, trying to summarize a really complex internal process. Yeah, we've all been there. Each one of these things drains your time and your focus. Now, AI promises to fix all this, but let's be real, for a lot of people, the results just aren't there. And there's a very clear reason for that.
And this is where the frustration really kicks in, right? You ask the AI to do something, and what you get back is, well, it's just not good. It's underwhelming, and it feels like the tool is broken. But here's the secret. The problem is almost never the tool itself. It's how we're asking.
I bet this looks really familiar, doesn't it? We've all done it. We toss out a super vague command like, create an onboarding document, and then we act surprised when the AI spits out something totally generic, completely unusable, or sometimes just flat out wrong. This is that cycle of frustration we need to break.
So here's the big mindset shift we need to make. The AI is like this incredibly powerful engine, but if you don't give it a clear destination, it's just going to spin its wheels. The quality of what you get out is a direct mirror of the quality of what you put in. The problem isn't the AI. The problem is the prompt.
And that, right there, brings us to the solution. It's a simple, super easy to remember, 4-part framework that will completely change how you talk to AI. This is the key. This is how you unlock what it can really do.
So here they are, the 4 essential parts: role, context, task, and format. Honestly, think of these like the 4 key ingredients in a recipe. If you leave one out, the whole thing just falls apart. So let's break down what each one of these really means.
First up, role. This one is huge. Instead of just talking to a generic chatbot, you tell it who to be. You give it a persona. When you say, you are a senior HR onboarding specialist with 10 years of experience, you're basically telling it which part of its massive brain to use. You're focusing its knowledge and its tone. It's like casting the perfect expert for a very specific role.
Next, we've got context. Look, the AI has no idea who you are, what your company does, or what your team needs. It can't read your mind. So you have to fill in the blanks. Telling it that this is for new customer support employees in a fast-growing company, that's crucial information. It helps the AI tailor the response so it's actually relevant and not just some generic template.
Now we get to the task. This is where you have to stop being vague and get super specific. Write about onboarding is not a good task, but create a clear onboarding guide explaining the first 7 days, the tools they'll use, and what the expectations are. Now that is a clear mission. There's no room for guessing.
And finally, the last piece, which might just be the most important one, format. This is a total game changer because it makes sure that what you get back is actually useful. You don't want a giant wall of text. You want something practical. So asking for bullet points, simple language, and a checklist format means you get a document you can use right away, without a ton of editing.
Okay, so we've looked at all 4 pieces of the puzzle. Now let's put them all together and watch the magic happen.
And here it is, the perfect prompt. See how it all flows together? You've got the role, the HR specialist. You've got the context, new hires at a growing company. You've got the specific task, a 7-day guide. And you've got the format, bullets and a checklist. A prompt like this is just worlds away from create an onboarding document. This is a professional instruction, and it's going to give you a professional result. And this is where it gets really exciting. Because when your whole team starts using this structured approach, the impact goes way beyond just finishing one task faster. The effect starts to ripple across the whole organization.
I mean, the results speak for themselves. The amount of time your team spends creating this stuff, it just plummets. But at the same time, the quality and, maybe most importantly, the consistency of the content goes through the roof. This means every single new hire is getting the same high-quality, effective message
Everyone is starting from the same excellent baseline.
So what has this actually unlocked for your team? Well, onboarding just gets smoother and faster. Your training materials are always consistent. And here's the best part. Your skilled trainers can finally stop drowning in paperwork and start focusing on what they do best, developing people. It literally transforms their job from content creator to coach and mentor. That's where they make the real difference.
So now you have the framework. The only question left is, what are you going to automate first? Think about it for a second. What's that one repetitive, time-sucking task that you just wish would disappear? Yeah, that one. That's the perfect place to start.